Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. It is Saturday morning, August the 24th, 2024. And of course, this is Coach Steele. And you are welcome to be here with me with Coach Steele's Finance Training. And of course, you know that is the YouTube channel name, Coach Steele's Finance Training. I am the financial voice of the people. So definitely happy to be here with you on this morning. Definitely take this time to tune in, stop what you're doing, or not stop what you're doing. And like I always tell everyone at Coach Steele's Finance Training, we are live on YouTube and we are also live on Facebook. And if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because anytime I post other videos, information, you can get all of those notifications and updates on the YouTube channel. And so anytime I do new videos, I don't always post them onto Facebook, but if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll catch a lot of that information as it comes along. But definitely welcome to Coach Steele's Finance Training. I am Coach Steele, and I'm happy to be here with you on this morning. So whatever you're doing, whether you are, let's say, getting up this morning, you're still in bed, you can throw me on YouTube or keep me on Facebook, whichever one you prefer. If you're in the middle of cleaning, that's fine. We can clean and talk about financial literacy. But that's what we're going to do this morning. We are going to talk about financial literacy. And you already see the title right there on the not YouTube channel, but also on Facebook. You see the title on the screen. How bad do you want it? Oh, that's a good title right there. How bad do you want it? Let that sink in as we deal with the subject and that phrase of how bad do you want it? And so when I say how bad do you want it, think about certain things that you want or certain things that you desire. And it causes for finances to help you get to that destination or get to those tangible or intangible things. So, how bad do you want it? And so when we deal with that subject of how bad do you want it, what are some of the things that you truly desire or want to see in your life financially? And so as you're tuning in and listening, whether you're in on the chat or whether you are on YouTube or whether you're in the comment section on Facebook, I want you to comment some of those things that you desire, some of those things that you want in your life financially. When we think about how bad do you want it, what are some of those things, whether they are selfish in a good way or whether they're unselfish things financially? What are the things and goals that you desire? You can type those in the chat right now. And while you're in the middle of typing those things in the chat, of those things you want, those things you desire financially, I do want to give some updates so that everyone knows what's going on and you are abreast of opportunities and things that will come along with Coach Steele's Finance Training. Well, of course, we are a team here with Coach Steele, and I'm definitely happy to have everyone a part of the community that is a part of this finance training community. And so we are coming very, very close to getting to 300 subscribers on YouTube. Now, for some people, they may see that as a small feat, but for me, I'm excited about the fact that we are very close to about 300 subscribers. And when we get to 300 subscribers, I'm going to celebrate by giving away $50. And so there has to be some type of rule or some type of requirement to make this fair. And so to make it fair, what I'm going to do when I give away this $50, whether it's a $50 gift card, $50 cash, whatever it is, or write a check, when I give it away, one, the person has to be a YouTube subscriber. So you have to be a subscriber on YouTube to be able to get and qualify for the $50 giveaway when we hit 300 subscribers. Also, to be able to qualify, you need to send me an email, and in that email, just put the title of just one of the videos that I have on YouTube. So make sure you're a subscriber, and you can email me in that email. You'll email me one of the titles on one of the videos on YouTube. And of course, it's not difficult because when we look at the YouTube channel, and I'll go to it real quick, I'll share my screen share. Let's go to YouTube. All right, let's see here. I'll wait for your screens to catch up. So we are right here on the YouTube channel that you should be able to see, and it is a little small. I wonder if I can enlarge it a little. No, there we go. So with that enlarged, of course, you see we're around 277 right now. We're getting very, very close to 300. So in that email, all you have to do, whether you type Excel sheet budgeting strategies or 66% of America lives paycheck to paycheck, all you have to do in that email is write one of the titles to one of the videos on the YouTube channel. And of course, if you do like gardening, then I also not only have financial literacy information, but I have tons of videos about gardening and growing vegetables and things like that. So you may end up liking some of these shorts in here. That way you can, who knows, you may have aspirations to do gardening and things like that as well. And you're more than welcome to have fun in there. If you missed any of the lives, any of those videos where I went live on Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone, feel free to dive in those and check out a lot of these lives as well. So anyway, it's not that complicated. Like I said, all you have to do is be a subscriber, shoot me an email, and in that email, put one of the titles of one of the videos on the YouTube channel. And if you want to know what my email address is, it's down here in the ticker section. And in that ticker section down at the bottom, it says, it's coming up, email coachsteelfinance@gmail.com. So not too complicated at all. Shoot me an email at coachsteelfinance@gmail.com. And so if you look at the ticker, then you'll have time to write it down. So now let's dive into the subject of how bad do you want it? When it comes to reaching your financial goals, how bad do you want it? How bad do you truly want to get to where you're going? Think about it. Because some people will say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at a 10. I really want to get to where I'm trying to go financially. I really desire to be there. And verbally, they are committed to wanting to get there. But when it comes to the physical side of it, when it comes to walking it out, the verbal does not match the physical. The verbal desire and the verbal commitment does not match or equal the physical commitment required to get to that destination. And so I want to motivate you and inspire you today to, when we have that verbal commitment, what the young people say is keep that same energy when it comes to the physical side of it. We want a good, healthy balance so that we can drive this ship to where it needs to go financially. And sometimes it's not that someone doesn't want to get there. It's not that they don't want to do the work. Verbally, they can commit and desire and want to be somewhere, but sometimes their confidence in themselves, their faith in themselves is lacking. It's coming up short because financially, we will mentally defeat ourselves and think about everything that we fall short on, everything that hinders us, everything that can block you personally from getting to where you're trying to go. And it's because you're relying on yourself. And when you're trying to get to where you need to be financially, you can't just rely on yourself or you will never get there. You have to rely on strong principles, strong foundation, and your faith. Your confidence can't just be in you, but you have to have your confidence in God. And through doing that, you can push yourself to where you need to be. You can fall on principles and guidelines that will help maneuver you through this financial system with guaranteed success. So don't allow yourself and your shortcomings and everything that you don't know to limit you to allow you to get to where you need to be. And so that's the problem with some of us is we cannot rely on simply what we know and what we've been capable of in the past. There's new content, there's new information, there's new education, there's new knowledge, there's new wisdom. There's so much out there that you can learn and glean from to get to where you're trying to go. But are you willing to learn? Are you willing to be mentored? Are you willing to acquire the information to help you get to your destination? So I'm asking you today, how bad do you want it? How bad do you truly want to get to where you need to be financially? Or are you already comfortable? Are you already happy with where you are? And is it sustainable over a period of time? And that's something else we have to think about. You know, I did last Saturday, I talked about the subject of how at least 66% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, the numbers for men was one thing, and the numbers for women were much higher. For women, it was, I think, 72% or something like that, a little over 70%. But what is my point? A majority, well over 50% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And they're struggling to make it, not simply because the cost of living has gone higher, not simply because inflation has increased, but it's because many of us refuse to humble ourselves and figure out how to budget our money. Many of us, we don't even know what our budget is. We will guess, what I call guesstimate. We will estimate. We'll do, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But you don't have to maybe when it comes to your budget. You can know your numbers. You can have that information down to a science. You can be an expert at your personal budget because you control it. But because we don't take action, because we don't move in confidence when it comes to financial literacy, we are lacking knowledge, and you're going to potentially perish for a lack of knowledge, for a lack of information. I always tell everyone, we hear this phrase where people say, well, what you don't know can't hurt you. But I always tell you, in the financial world, what you don't know will hurt you. It can and will hurt you immediately. And so I implore everyone today to think about the fact of how bad do you truly want it? How bad do you want it? What are some of those things you want? I know some of the things that I want. I'll give an example, and then you can write some of your examples of the things that you want in the comment section on Facebook, or if you're subscribed as a YouTube member, you can write it in the chat on YouTube at Coach Steele's Finance Training. Some of the things I want: passive income. I love passive income. Why? Because you don't have to clock in for the cash flow to come in. I don't have to clock in. I don't have to do strenuous fatigue level work for the cash flow for money to come in. So whether I'm awake or whether I'm asleep, that money comes in, passive income. And so you can have active income where you are clocked in 9 to 5, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because I think it's great to have a combination of both. You know, so there's nothing wrong with it, but why would you not want passive income? Whether it comes in the form of from any different asset classes. There's so many asset classes out there where you can draw passive income. But how do we get to that point? You have to have such a deep desire on the inside to get to a certain point financially that you refuse to allow anything to get in your way. I'm talking about learning how to be not selfish in a bad way, but be selfish for yourself to the point where you refuse to allow people to take advantage of you. You refuse to allow people to run over you financially. You refuse to allow yourself to run over yourself financially. You make up in your mind that I'm going to do whatever it takes on today to get my financial situation straight because I want it just that bad. I desire to be in a better place financially so bad that I refuse to allow anyone to throw me off course. I will strategically and emphatically, consistently say no when I need to say no and say yes when I need to say yes. Say yes to the things that help me get to where I need to be, and say no when I'm dealing with something that's distracting me or throwing me off course financially. How bad do you want it? What are some of the things that you want? How bad do you want it? Right in there. What are some things that you want? I said I want passive income. How much? Well, I wouldn't mind at least $20,000 to $50,000. It's a wide range. I wouldn't mind at least minimum $20,000 worth of passive income a month. 50,000 would be better. But at minimum, my goal at minimum is to have at least $20,000 worth of passive income coming in a month, no matter what, regardless of what I do. What will that do for me? It'll do a lot of things for me. It'll allow me to go travel different places that I want to travel. It'll allow me to help people that I want to help. It will allow me to sit in front of this laptop longer and make more great content to help more people. And so I have certain goals, and not only do I have those goals, but there's a purpose behind them. What is the purpose behind your financial goals? What are some of the reasons why you want to get to where you're trying to get to? And so I'm asking you on today, how bad do you want it? And if you want it bad enough, then you have to deal with a few things. What are some of the things you have to deal with when you want it bad enough? One, I already told you, you need to be able to know your budget and not have it up here, but put it on here, put it on paper, put it on an Excel sheet, put it on an app, be able to physically see what you have coming in and going out and what adjustments need to be made. Also, we have to face reality. We have to deal with the things that are hindering us from getting to where we need to be and the places we desire to be. So that's another thing we have to do. We have to face and deal with reality of the situation. Is my financial situation healthy or is it poor? And what do I need to do to get it better? We have to deal with the truth. We have to deal with issues. Sometimes making minor adjustments can take you a long way. But you have to be willing to learn something new. You have to be willing to invest in yourself and in new knowledge and information that you lack. Stop saying, well, I can't get to where I need to be based off the information that you have. You're going off of what only you know. There may be other information out there that you have no idea that exists. And so you have to be willing to seek new knowledge. You have to be willing to seek after new information. There's a scripture in the Bible that says he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So even when you seek God, he rewards you in different ways, tangible or intangible. And so you have to keep that same energy, that same mentality to where you have to be willing to seek new information, get mentorship, get guidance. You can get to where you're trying to be. Some places that you all are looking to get to, you've given yourself 15 to 20 year time frame. And you don't realize that you might be able to do it in 3 or 4 years. You might be able to do it in 5 to 7 years. You might be able to do it in 5 to 8 years. But you think it's going to take 20 years based off the information you have in your head. So now you limited yourself. You limited yourself to only what's in here when God has created other people to be able to help you and give you guidance. So we got to deal with reality and the fact that we do not know everything. We have to deal with things that are hindering us, people that are hindering us, and move those situations out of the way so that we can get to where we're trying to go financially. Do you desire to change your financial situation? And what are you willing to do to accomplish your goals? Are you willing to do the uncomfortable things right now to accomplish your goals to help you get to where you need to be? I want to talk to you about being uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable causes you to have to make sacrifices. And sacrifices is not a bad thing. Sacrifice comes in different forms. Whether sacrifice to improve your financial situation may come from just reading a book. Normally, you may not be a book reader, but now I'm going to read this book because it has great content, great information that can help me and get me to where I need to be. That might be the sacrifice. The sacrifice might be, you know what? I may need to find a second job. I may have to find another way to make other income, whether it comes in the form of a second job or creating my own business, and make that sacrifice to learn and to create your own business or to work on someone else's clock just to create more income temporarily till you can eliminate some debt or create a better situation financially. Doesn't mean you got to do the second job for the rest of your life. It's only for a season so that you can make an adjustment, because we're talking about how bad do you want it? Are you willing to take and do uncomfortable things right now so that you can get to where you need to be financially? I want it bad enough to where I will do what is uncomfortable to get to where I need to be financially. If it takes up more time, if I have to make those sacrifices, whatever it is, I don't want to just talk the talk and not walk the walk. Because what does it look like to talk to people over and over about what you want to do, but you're not willing to do the physical things? And one of the worst things you can do is make excuses that are going to hinder you from getting to where you need to be. For example, this morning I went and walked 3 miles. I could have made up 4 or 5 different excuses to stop from going to go exercise this morning. But the excuses do not justify or give me a pass as to why I shouldn't be able to go walk 3 miles in the morning. I could have said my feet hurt. I could have said I didn't get enough sleep last night. I can come up with all these reasons and never get my exercise in, because I tried to validate my excuse as to a reason why I can't do it. So now I justified a reason for me to be unhealthy. I justified a reason for me to continue to gain weight. I justified a reason for me to not be at my best physical physique, because I came up with an excuse that put me at peace with not having to do what I needed to do physically. And we do the same thing financially. We will come up with reasons to validate why it's okay for us to be a part of the 66% of America that is struggling to live paycheck to paycheck, or that cannot maintain ourselves, or that we continue to climb in debt. Why am I passionate about this? Because I desire to see people financially free. I desire to see people in a better place financially. And it crushes and it hurts my heart to see people struggle. And with a little discipline and a little education, we can get ourselves to a better place. Each and every person. As we come together as a team, as we come together as a unit, we can get to where we need to be financially. And I want to see that for each and every person, each and every household, so that we can be an example for our children, so that we can be an example for our nieces and our nephews and our loved ones, so that, when we talk about the reasons why relationships fall apart, they say 2 of the main reasons are through communication and through finances. Well, if we fix finances, then we eliminate one of the major reasons why relationships have problems. Are you okay with getting uncomfortable? Are you okay with getting uncomfortable because you want it just that bad? You truly desire to be where you need to be. We can't just talk the talk. We got to be willing to walk the walk. We have to be willing to write the plan with enough veracity, enough tenacity, but then we have to have that same energy when it comes to executing. I want to see every person be able to execute their plan. And everybody's plan is going to look different. Some people's plan, they may be able to get through it pretty quick. Other people, it may cause you to grind a little bit more. It may cause you to work harder a little bit more. But stick to your pace. Stick to your financial race and run it well so that you can get to where you're trying to go. We're talking about how bad do you want it on today. We don't want to create excuses. We want to be able to execute. We want to be able to pass and not fail. And we don't want to make excuses that are going to give us a pass or a cop-out to fail. We don't want that. And so I'm excited to talk to you all on this morning. Excited about Coach Steele's finance training, providing information. Just remember, your sacrifices may come in your time, your energy, maintaining your budget, finding the right mentor, willing to monitor your financial situation, willing to listen so that you can learn and that you can get educated, digest this information. Be willing to make those adjustments while it's an option. That's one of the last things I want to tell you before I get off. Listen to what I'm saying. Be willing to make the adjustments while you have the option and the capability to make the adjustments. Because if you're not willing to make the financial adjustments now, later will come a time. Later will come a time when you are not able to make the financial adjustments. You're not going to have an option. It's going to be forced upon you. Be willing. Good morning, Pastor Takara. Be willing to make the adjustments while you have the option to make the adjustments financially. Because if not, there'll come a time where these adjustments will be forced on you. You'll have no choice. If you decide not to pay your car payment, then someone's coming to get it. It's forced upon you. If you don't pay your mortgage, then they will put you out of the house. It'll go into foreclosure. Someone else will come and buy it. It'll be forced upon you. Be willing to make the financial adjustments now. How bad do you want to get to where you need to be financially? Be willing to make the adjustments while you can now. Otherwise, someone else is going to make the adjustments for you later. It'll be out of your control. And that's what I want to talk to you all about on today. I know it's a little brief. Normally, I stay on for about an hour. It's been about 31 minutes. I have a long day today. And who knows, maybe if my day is freed up, I'll jump back on live again later this evening. But it's definitely been a pleasure talking to each and every person on this morning that has tuned in. You tuned in to Coach Steele's Finance Training. And of course, anyone who missed it before, I already told you, make sure you grab my email down there in the ticker section, CoachSteeleFinance@gmail.com. I'm excited about where the YouTube channel is going, Coach Steele's Finance Training. Make sure you are subscribed. We are very close to 300 subscribers. I'm excited about it. And we're going to celebrate that by giving away $50. But we're not just going to give it away. You have to shoot me an email. And in that email, you need to write at least one of the titles on the YouTube channel. And I showed you all an example of that earlier in this broadcast. If you missed it, when I get off in the next 30 seconds to a minute, go back and watch it. And also, you have to be a subscriber. So to qualify for the $50 giveaway, when we hit 300 subscribers in the near future, you have to be a subscriber. You need to email me, CoachSteeleFinance@gmail.com. And in that email, write at least one of the titles of the YouTube channels on Coach Steele's Finance Training YouTube channel. Other than that, I appreciate everyone tuning in. It's been a blessing. Good morning to everyone. I pray that you have a blessed day and all goes well for you. Sit down, get those numbers together, figure out what your goals are, figure out where you're trying to go, because you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want?